Okay, we are live. I'm just going to do a quick check on YouTube. Hey, everyone on YouTube, can you please confirm on chat when you can hear me, and if the AV is clear, if you can just quickly confirm, we'll kickstart the session. Okay, I'll give you a quick shout out if you can just confirm if the AV is clear. I can see it on my phone. I'll just wait for a response. All right, folks, let me know in chat, please, if the AV is clear. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, all clear. Thank you. Thank you, Tanmay. Thank you, Vasant, as well. All right, folks, thank you so much for joining, folks. So before I forget to introduce myself, which is, unfortunately, I do that in these sessions, I'm going to quickly talk about, just take 30 seconds to introduce myself. My name is Jatin. I'm a part of 2IIM. I take care of various things. I'm the head of VRC and partnerships at 2IIM, and I'm going to be the host of this session today. We have a very exciting session lined up for you all. This is about this program called International Double Degree in Analytics, which is being brought to you by Goa Institute of Management in collaboration with Nova School of Business and Economics, which is located in Portugal. Now, the interesting thing about this program is it's a double degree, as the title says, right? It's a PGDM in big data analytics from Goa Institute of Management, and a master's in business analytics from Nova School of Business and Economics. And the best part is that their admissions are open for the June 24 intake. So if you're looking for good options at this point in time, if you want to start your master's this year, you'll definitely find this session useful. Okay, so I'll introduce the panel. So we have two senior professors from Goa Institute of Management today with us. We have Professor Hanish Rajpal. His expertise is in cost management, financial accounting, and financial risk. And we also have Professor Suman Sanyal. His expertise is in data science, statistical ML, and stochastic processes. So thank you so much, professors, for taking out the time and joining us today. Thank you. All right, so we'll get started. Sorry, sir. Sorry.
I said thank you.
Oh,
thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Pleasure, sir. Pleasure. So we'll get started now, folks. We'll have ample time for live questions. So feel free to put your questions in chat. I'll keep coming down to them. I do have a set of fixed questions, which you'll find useful, but definitely put your questions in chat. Okay. Sir, my first question, it's a very general question just to kickstart the session. If you could just give us an overview of this program, because it's definitely quite unique. There's a double degree. There is an international element to it. So if we can start with an overview of the program, I think that will be super useful.
All right, so I can talk about that, about the program. So in this program, what happens is that we already have an existing BDA program, a PGDM BDA program at GIM, which is a well-established thing. And what we decided is that we can have some students who join in our BDA program and then attend the class with the BDA student for like 1 year. And then in the second year, they will go to Europe, in Portugal, and attend the class up there. And then at the end of 2 years, they will have, instead of 1, 2 degrees. One is the PGDM BDA from the GIM, and the second one is the Master's in Business Analytics from NOVA SBE. And the NOVA SBE is one of the top business school in Europe. It is ranked 1 in Portugal, and in the Financial Times, it is ranked 13 in this year all over the world. So it is one of the best business school you can expect to have a collaboration with. So in couple of years, you will have 2 degrees. Also, the fees of this program is also reasonable. It's not you have to pay for both the programs entirely. You pay half the fees, half the time, and double the degree. So it's everything double in half the price.
Okay, I think that's definitely seems to be the USP of this program. You know, the fact that it's a double degree, there's an international element, and given that there is an international element, the fees is definitely reasonable. So that's
Right.
that's definitely great to know. Thanks for sharing your insights, sir. Are there any other, sir, USPs? I mean, of course, the students who are listening today are mostly students aspiring to do an MBA. You know, whether it's this year or next year, most of them are prospective MBA grads. So why should a student consider this program as opposed to, you know, us doing a standard MBA from an Indian business school?
Right. So one of the thing is that usually if you do an MBA or a MTech or a BTech in data science, you'd get a junior analyst role. And what we envision is that in the next 5 to 10 years, a lot of these roles will get automated. So with this program, what we want to do is to make leadership roles who would be slightly higher in the food chain. And we don't want to make the junior analyst kind of role. So slightly senior, it's because they will have, instead of one couple of degrees, one from India, one from Europe, with international exposure. So we want these students who are in this program to take up a leadership role and to actually lead a particular project, and so that under them 5-10 engineers can actually work, which is what we are hoping for.
All right, sounds good. So in a way, the jobs that you're hoping that these students will get would be sort of in a way AI proof. The concerns around AI taking over the jobs, that would be minimized because they're going to be handling senior roles post that program.
Right.
Can I add something else on from what was someone has said?
Sorry, sir. Can you say that?
Can I add something else on this?
Please do, sir.
Yeah.
Please do.
So see, what Professor Suman has said is, is absolutely correct. So we are envisioning that, over time, what we would see is that students who graduate from this program, would go into see leadership positions in analytics, right? As far as immediate kind of immediate benefits that students would get as compared to a regular MBA program, regular PGDM or MBA program, is that one is that it gives extensive international exposure, right? So when students go to the country, they stay there, they interact with other students of different nationalities that turn up there or who study there, right? So it gives a complete different exposure that students would, that's how they become ready for leadership positions, right? So it's not only their analytical understanding or knowledge, but also their overall exposure to the world of work, right? So that's one. Second is that analytics, as we know, is growing significantly, right? Having a international degree in analytics, right? MSc, this is MSc in Business Analytics that NOVA offers, right? So in addition to PGDM in BDA, which is a merger of management and analytics, plus MSc in Business Analytics, we are kind of sure that this will help students to get to those positions that we are envisioning, right? So that's the whole idea behind this. Given that NOVA NOVA ranks among top institutes in the world, right? What you can expect is, of course, GIM infrastructure and faculty. I'm sure students would know here. But what you can expect from NOVA is to have world-class faculty and students from across the world to come there. Right? So that's the benefit that students would garner from this program, in addition to what otherwise they would get from a regular MBA program.
Right. Sounds good. And I think the fact that it's a one proper year stint in an international location.
Yes. It's not only one term. It's not like an international exchange program where students go for only one term, right? It's a full year that they spend there.
Yes. Correct. So that will definitely make a difference. So one question that's coming to my mind, and I think this is the BCom student in me, the non-engineer in me, who's a little worried now. We're talking about going really deep into big data analytics, business analytics. 2-year, seems like a very intense program. And Professor Sanyal also spoke about, how you're aiming at leadership positions where they will be managing a team of, let's say, 5 engineers or 10 engineers. Does a non-engineer stand a chance? I mean, should they apply for this program, or is this tailored for engineers?
So what we have is that in the PDA program right now, and also the master's program up there, we have a mix of students who comes up there. So in that, we also have students who come from the BCom background, from the BBA background, engineering, and even in the engineering, not everybody comes from the computer science background. They come from the mechanical, electronics, all kinds of backgrounds. So having said that, what happens is that when a student joins, we have a wide variance of the student. So usually we have some kind of an induction program. So in the induction program, we teach them all the basic elements which is required so that we can bring everybody on the same page. And then the regular semester or the term actually begins. So that kind of induction program happens at GIM. And then if some of them still has some of the deficiencies, similar kind of thing will also happen in Europe as well, where they will give some kind of induction so that they can get used to the kind of things which will happen in Europe. So we have to ensure in the class that at least the students are on the same page so that we can exchange ideas and communicate with each other. I mean, we cannot afford to have a section of the student who has actually no idea what is going on. It becomes our responsibility to bring them up to the par with the rest of the class. And in that way, we have been able to handle students from diverse background into this BDA program.
Okay. That's definitely a relief to know, especially from a non-engineer perspective. Because I mean, when I talk to students, right, the moment they see analytics, the first question that comes up is, I have no idea about coding. Will I be able to sort of do well in this program? So it's good to know that there are foundation programs which bring them up to speed and they can be at the same level. That's great.
There's one more thing, Jatin.
Yeah.
So see, PGDM BDA, for example, right? PGDM BDA, as I mentioned, it's a merger of management and analytics.
Correct.
So end of it, it's not that we're making them data scientists. They're becoming managers, right? So
Yes.
end of it, they have to take business decisions, right?
Yeah.
Using analytics, right? So that's where only engineers won't work.
Right. Yeah.
BCom graduates or BBA graduates, they do have that understanding of business. So they have that edge already.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody who studied business already for 3 years, they carry that edge, that they understand business, they can understand when to take what kind of a decision. It's just that it has to be supported now with analytics.
Correct.
It's what they need to learn.
Right. Makes sense.
And like one more thing is the following.
Yeah.
See what happens, we have all kinds of subjects, like we have courses in accounting, economics, HR, marketing. So the students who are coming from the commerce background, they already know the finance and all those things, accounting.
Right.
So
Right.
these guys do much better in those kind of subjects than the students who are coming from the computer science background.
Right. Correct.
And then you have the students from the BBA who already had the courses in HR and marketing. These guys, they do better in those. And then the computer science guy, they do better in, slightly better in the coding. So each one of them has to pick up something along the way.
Definitely.
So nobody has absolute advantage or disadvantage in this program.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. So it's a level playing field for
Right.
engineers. That's great to know. So there, I'll take one question from the live chat, and then I'll come back to my questions. It's to do with eligibility, right? So one aspect that we've folks that we've determined is that you can be a graduate from any background, and you would be eligible for this program. You don't have to have an engineering background. I think that's very clear. Ritania is asking, may I know the age category for this program? Is there any aspect around age with reference to eligibility?
Yes. So what we expect is that students would be below 26 years of age when they join. That's one cap that we have
Right.
on the age.
Okay. So below the age of 26.
Below the age of 26, yes.
Right. And graduates from any background, and
Graduates from any background.
experience a requirement?
Sorry?
Is work experience a requirement, or can they?
Work experience is not a requirement now.
Okay. All right. Okay, folks. So there you go. You have the eligibility criteria. We'll post it on. We'll link it to YouTube as well. The detailed eligibility criteria. You also have to, since it's a program that's starting in June 24, you should have attempted either CAT or CAT 23 or ZAT 24. And then, of course, there are some other eligibility criteria as well, but these are the main aspects.
If you want me to kind of narrate it out, I can do that.
That'll be great. Yeah, that'll be great.
So we need at least one standard test among three: CAT, XAT, or GMAT.
Okay.
That is the requirement. Plus, we conduct our own aptitude test called as GIM Analytics and Aptitude Test called as GAT in short.
Right.
So they have to appear for that exam. There's another test that they have to appear called as Written Aptitude Test or VAT in short. And of course, they have to appear for interview. So that's
Right.
the process through which they'll go once they get shortlisted for the interview.
Okay.
Right? So once they apply, based on their profile, we shortlist them, and then they have to go through this process to get finally selected in the program.
Okay. Okay. So all of this, if a student applies now, it will be expedited, and
yes, it will be expedited, of course. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Since we're talking about eligibility, is there an application deadline that they have to adhere to? We're sending them links for the application, but is there a deadline that they have to do?
Yes, because it's a June 24 intake that we're talking about, we plan to close by 10th of June.
Okay.
Right. So that's a deadline.
Perfect. Sounds good. That makes sense as well. So folks, Ridhani, your question is answered. It's below 26. We've sent links for the application as well on chat. We'll again send it. My team will send it again. And remember, the deadline is 10th of June. Okay. And you can have a look at the other eligibility criteria that Professor Rajpal mentioned. Okay. Great. So moving on, sir. I mean, I'll go to the topmost question that comes up, right? Whenever we do these sessions, what about placements, right? And in connection to that, because now they have an international degree as well, will they be sort of, will they have international opportunities as well in terms of placement? So what kind of placement assistance would be provided to students?
So placement support will be provided by both campuses, GIM as well as NOVA, right? Of course, second year they would be in NOVA, right? So what we expect that, they'll be able to take benefit of placement support there and get international placements, right? NOVA being in Portugal, they'll have at least the European market open to them for jobs, right? So that's the expectation. Of course, GIM also will provide support, on placements. So both campuses, are committing to provide placement support.
Okay. Okay. So that's also good that they get support from two institutions. And Portugal, and correct me if I'm wrong, like recently I'm hearing of a lot of development that's happening in Portugal. Like in my network also, I have a few people who've moved to Lisbon recently. So is this sort of like a upcoming destination right now in Europe in terms of workforce and work in general?
So what we see is that Portugal, in terms of analytics, has good options.
Okay.
As jobs are concerned, right? And generally, Europe also has good options, be it Germany, France,
Right.
towards that markets. So development is certainly taking place in that direction.
Right. And I'm guessing in terms of visa, also it's probably easier to get a visa for Portugal as compared to other European nations.
That's a difficult thing to.
Right. No,
Visa is a very subjective thing, right? One thing that we can say is that GIM and NOVA both will provide all the support that they need for getting the visa.
Okay. That's great.
That's what we can say.
Okay.
Also, like one of the added advantage which we have is like the Portuguese consulate is actually very strong in Goa. It's because of the connection.
Of course. Yes.
So, which is why what we plan to do is that we plan to make a bulk application of the visas.
Okay.
So the student do not have to apply individually. We can send all the application in one go to the consulate.
Okay.
And since the consulate is up here only in Goa, it becomes extremely easy. They don't have to go anywhere for the visa. We can get the visa here.
Definitely. Yeah. Now since you say that, this seems like a very natural collaboration between GIM and it's all making sense now. I don't know why that Portuguese aspect didn't strike me earlier, but that's interesting to know. Okay, so one interesting question Srirag is asking, is one of my students, do we need to learn Portuguese for this?
No. So what happens is that this entire program is in English.
Okay.
So the instruction up there also in Portugal will be in English. And 100% of the instruction and evaluation, all the assessments, they will be in English. But if you want to mix with the social crowd up there, you might want to pick up some of the Portuguese language as well, for which you can attend some extra lectures and some extra classes which is given by the institute, and you can pick up one additional language. Having one of those additional language, whether it is Portuguese or French or Spanish, whichever language it is, could down the road could also help you in employment. So it's just having some additional skill. But as such, for this program, English should be enough if you don't want to do anything else.
Okay. Perfect. So there you go, Srirag. You don't need it, but it's a good thing. I mean, learning a new language definitely unlocks more doors for you. And why not, right? I mean, if you're in Portugal spending a year, why not learn the language and sort of immerse yourself in the culture? Okay, great. Good question, Srirag. Now, sir, coming down to the academics bit of it, if you could just tell us a little bit about the curriculum, maybe focusing on the main components, and also something about the faculty of the program. I think that'll be very helpful.
Right. So in this program, so we will start from June 15th onwards, right? So for the first 15 days, we will have the induction. And then from July first week, the regular term will begin. So we will have a total of 3 terms, term 1, term 2, and term 3, which will go up to the month of March.
Right.
In 2025. So, and then from April onwards, the student will go for a 5-month internship in company.
Okay.
This internship can be anywhere in India, and the GIM has a has a place com who helps the student to get the internship.
Right.
This internship is part of the curriculum. So every student has to do the internship, and it somewhat becomes the responsibility of GIM to get the students the internship.
Correct.
So they do internship for 5 months, which should take them to like end of July or something. Okay.
Yep.
So then in the last week of July, they will have to go to Portugal,
Right.
and then they begin up there from August, where they have a smaller induction once again, and then the regular classes will begin from August, September. Okay.
Okay.
So then they will have couple of semesters. Each semester is of 6 months.
Okay.
So we should go for 1 more year from August to July, and then everything would be over in July. So it is a complete 2-year thing, June to June kind of, or July to July kind of thing. 2 years completely packed, and we had to pack it because we had to fit 2 different programs in very limited amount of time.
Right. Right. That's I think it seems like a very exhaustive program from an academics point of view, and as a teacher, this makes me very happy. Right.
Right.
I mean,
And
sorry, sir.
and one more thing, additionally,
Yeah.
so they will have couple of semesters up in Portugal.
Right.
So in the first semester, they will have some of the coursework related to the core and some elective courses.
Right.
Then in the second semester, they will have something called the work project.
Okay. Okay.
So as a part of the work project, these guys could be working either with some on some industry project or some academic research project or some project with the government agencies. These kind of work project will happen for 1 semester.
Okay.
And that will be under the guidance of one of the faculty members up there. And so, so what the students will have is that the student will have this 5-year internship in India, and then they will have this work project in Europe.
Yeah.
So they will have lot of work experience after the completion of this program. So it's not only the academic thing on the chalkboard which they will have to do.
Right.
It also has any hands-on skill and work experience to which the student will undergo, and which we believe will help them adjust and get placed in very good companies after they graduate.
Right. 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 That's something that struck me as well, because the standard MBA in India right now has a 2 to 3 month internship. Here we have a 5-month internship in India, plus there is a very concrete practical project in the Portugal stint as well.
Right.
Definitely very hands-on. That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, so sir, in terms of like the faculties, of course, we'll have the professors who are handling the GIM BDA program. Could you tell us a little bit about the faculties here and the faculties at NOVA as well?
So, see, we have at GIM about 80 faculty members, and we are recruiting even more. So we have lots of faculty members, and then for each of these courses, we have approximately for the 3 terms when the students will be over. The student will approximately have 18 subjects which they will have to take.
Okay.
And which means that they would be interacting with at least 18 faculty members in this time when these guys are in GIM. Similarly, what I want the students to do is to go and look into the website, because it gives us the entire profile of the faculty member, including the subjects which they teach, what are their research interests. And if one of these faculty member is actually of interest, they can look up in the Scholar or in the internet as to what their research publication is. So all those things are available. And likewise in Portugal, in NOVA School of Business and Economics has like top class faculties. They have excellent finance program. They have excellent business analytics program. So, and this business analytics program up there is offered in association with the computer science department up there. So they also have faculties from computer science department who are also part of this. So once again, I would encourage the students to go and check out the websites of both of these institutes, learn about the program and the faculties and the kind of facilities which are available here, and they should be able to get all the information which they want to get.
Sure, definitely. So folks, we'll post the links. We've already posted. We'll again post it on chat. Definitely, as Professor Sanyal said, do visit both the websites. Have a look at the program in detail. All the details are mentioned. Have a look at the faculties, and then that'll help you make a judicious choice. So definitely do your research. There's a wealth of information available on both these websites. Coming back to the admissions part of it. So again, if you're just joining in, the eligibility criteria, although this is an international double degree in analytics, graduates from any background can apply. Okay, and their admissions are open for June 24. So if you're looking for good options and you want to start this year, definitely, I'd encourage you to apply. Their application deadline is 10th of June, because obviously the program is starting in June. And you should have given either CAT, ZAT, or GMAT already. Okay. So one question that I had was, and this is like a common student question, right? Is there any cutoff, Professor Rajpal, as far as these exams are concerned that you're looking at?
Well, there's no cutoff per se.
Right.
See, BDA program also has a profile-based shortlisting. We don't have a specific cutoff for the BDA program as well. So, what we're looking at is, similar profiles in the ID program.
Okay.
So it will be a profile-based shortlisting, and as such, so if it's a good profile, right? Say with having work experience, good academics, maybe with a little lower CAT, ZAT. See, our cutoff for PGDM core program was 90 percentile this year, right?
Right.
But for BDA program, if we get a good profile, of course we can relax the scores or cut off a bit.
Okay.
One thing I forgot to mention when we talked about the eligibility criteria is students also have to appear for English proficiency tests, right? Either TOEFL or IELTS, because it's an international program, right? And they have to travel to Portugal, so that is required for such programs. However, we will give them sufficient time to appear for such, because we know that students would not have appeared for such tests right away. So we'll give them some time, more than a month, for them to appear for this test and then submit a score for us.
Okay. So the application, they can apply right away and
clear. Apply right away. They can get through the process, except for say TOEFL and IELTS. Right. They can join the program, but within a specified date, they must give TOEFL and IELTS and then submit the score to us.
Right. And just a very general point about TOEFL and IELTS. If you've never given it, you're probably worried about it. But believe me, if you've prepared for CAT VRC, right, or CAT or ZAT, these exams are not going to be difficult for you, right? Of course, you'll have to prepare, right, because there's a speaking element and all of that. But just a tip from an English teacher: don't worry too much about these exams. If you prepare, you can clear it, right? For CAT, ZAT students, this won't be an issue, even for GMAT students. Okay, so great. Now, in terms of, I also read that they have to write an SOP. Quite a number of sort of steps that they have to clear. At this point in time, if a student is interested, what can they do to maximize their chances of admission? Like, what should they keep in mind?
So prepare well for the interview. Right? See, they can't change the CAT or that scores right now.
Right.
That's not possible. What they have right now is they have right now. Okay. But they should have a clear agenda, which we should be able to see in the SOP. That's
Right.
one. Right. So if that if that clarity comes as to why they want to do this program and why are they convinced that that program suits them or suits their objectives or career objectives well, that that will, of course, if we see that clarity, of course they get better score for it. That's one. TOEFL and IELTS is only an eligibility requirement, and it's only so the scores we've mentioned what score we want, and that's a minimum score that we require for it. Okay. They must prepare for the interview, right? And prepare for the GAT exam, because see, GAT exam, I'll just mention those who don't know about this exam, the exam that we conduct, right? So this is the exam which tests them on concepts like probability, okay, concepts like basic arithmetic, aptitude, and logical reasoning, including say logics in coding. So it does not test on coding per se, but the logics that goes into coding, it tests that, right? So some preparation for that exam would be required. A sample paper is on the website. They can go and download a sample paper and have a look at what kind of questions they can expect, right? And having said this, if they've given CAT, if they've cleared that, got good percentile, I am sure this would not be a very difficult test for them to crack.
Okay.
So, but some preparation would be required.
Definitely. I mean, I'm sure like getting familiar with the format, the additional components.
Yeah.
That's definitely
Right. And I think the GAT exam is, we don't have a charge for that. It's free of cost, right?
Okay.
Yes. We don't charge for it.
All right.
GAT as well as WAT, written aptitude test.
Right.
We don't charge for it.
Okay. Awesome. So folks, again, you're familiar with WAT. You would have appeared for WAT. You're familiar with personal interviews as well, but definitely, as Professor Rajpal said, prepare for it thoroughly. And I think step one would be to just research about the program, right? And then you can link it to your career goals and objectives, right? You need to have complete clarity of the program. So I'm sure this session will help do your ground research and prepare. As Sir said, the GAT, won't be a major hindrance for you, but you need to familiarize yourself with the format. So check out the sample paper, and TOEFLs and IELTS will come later, right? Okay, awesome. So folks, keep putting your questions on chat, right? I'll keep coming back to them. I think I'm done with pretty much all the main questions that I had for this program. Just going through my list. Let me know, folks, if you have any questions for the panel. Again, in terms of 1 point, because I know this keeps coming up, it's for any background can apply, and there is no work experience requirements. Okay, so as Professor Sanyal said in the beginning, they always aim at a diverse cohort of students. So there'll be freshers, there'll be work ex folks. So that's a great opportunity then for anyone to apply, provided you meet the other eligibility. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ashwin. Great. So folks, again, if there are questions, let me know. Otherwise, if you watch this session later, you can put a question in the comments, and our team we're very closely in touch with the team at GIM. So of course, we'll get all your questions answered. So you can post them in the comments as well. Our team will send links again. Just have a look at that. Remember, the application timeline is 10th of June, right? Because the program starts in June. So if you're interested, definitely research and get your application ready ASAP. All right. Great. I believe, sir, there are no more questions. Oh, no, there is one question. Oh, no, it's a comment that they came to know about new opportunities, which is a good thing. All right. So I think, sir, we can probably wrap up the session. And then, of course, we'll be in touch with your team. We'll answer any questions that come on comments. Thank you so much, Professor Rajpal and Sanyal, for taking out the time. Sounds like a very interesting program, the international element, the practical element. Definitely very interesting. And the fact that they get a double degree. As Sir said, 2 degrees for the price of 1. So, but also, as I said, I'm very happy that it's a very intense academic program. So yeah, thank you so much, sir, for taking all the time.
Thank you, Yatin. Thank you for inviting us. It was really a great session. I'm sure your students would find it interesting to kind of at least
Looking forward
do the
to
program now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jatin.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, folks. We'll see you soon for our next YouTube live. Okay, bye.